Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here, and I am back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got what should be a good one here today. We're on the map Equilibrium, the AI edition. We have got a couple of good bots here, and in the top left, one that I haven't ever cast before, so I guess saying good bots is still up in the air. It's Replicator. So a new bot's always exciting to watch. Replicator, a very cool name, so can have points for that. A very bot-seeming name. And then in the top right, we have got Ender, one of the frequent flyers on this channel. Big thanks to the bot authors that do submit these replays. And we'll just see how this TVZ, but more importantly, bot versus bot, is gonna go. Ender likes to go for an early scout. And we have got Replicator so far going for 2 racks. I wonder if we're gonna see a bit of 2 racks Reaper play, as there is a gas as well, so that could be very significant here. I feel like we don't see too many Reaper bots. Too many mass Reaper bots anyway. We see a lot of the Terran bots that go for the Reaper. They have their interest in control. But as far as using the Reaper heal mechanic, that's not something we see too much of. So I wonder if Replicator is going to be a bot that utilizes that. There's 3 racks on the way and 2 refineries actually. So it definitely wants a lot of gas. So probably a lot of Reapers. There's really not much else that this could be at this point. As far as conventional StarCraft goes, it's 2 bots, so who knows? Who knows? It could be like a 1-base stim combat shield, spend the gas on Marauders thing, but you never know until you know. So far 2 Marines on the way for Replicator to start things off, so not spending its gas just yet. And before we do see what it spends its gas on, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever I put out a new one of these bot casts, which is almost every day. And if you do want to support that, consider becoming a YouTube member. It's just like Patreon, basically, or Twitch subscriptions. Now, let's take a look here. We have got these 3 Marines going to be moving out across the map for Replicator. I'm not sure what their fate's going to be, as it's still mining all this gas for Lord knows what. And then those Marines are going to be running into some of the roaches for Ender. Ender is going for a build that I've seen it do before. Goes for quite a few roaches early on. It's stopped mining gas, so presumably it's going to go for a hatchery behind this in transition, but a lot of early roaches, a very strong build. Now we've got the 3 Marines crossing the map. I wonder if they're going to see no natural and go home, or if they're going to go all the way. They're going to be in trouble now. They do see those roaches, and they're going to want to get on out of there. We do see some pullback micro, but it's hard to micro as a non-stimmed Marine against a roach. They got a bit of damage done to one of them, but this is actually going to be really concerning for Replicator. What's it making right now? Literally no units. It's got stim combat shield and +1 on the way. It's built its barracks in its mineral line. That's a pretty big bot derp. I'm not sure it's losing too much mining, just a little bit on this 1 mineral patch, and I guess an SCV is going around the backside, so that's definitely not great. It's not the end of the world, however, but it does go to show that this bot is probably a newer one. Now we take a look, we see these Marines are engaging the roaches again, trying to target down that 1 roach, but unfortunately they fall flat on their face. 2 Marauders are about to pop out, so 2 of the best Terran units against roaches right there, but the problem is that it's still 7 roaches. The injured one does get pulled back by Ender, so good to see that micro there. However, these Marauders are starting to go down. 1 already perishes, the others quite low on HP. SCVs have been pulled into this. There's a couple more Marines out helping out. Let's see, can this 1 Marauder deal with that 1 roach and then potentially help out his Marine buddies to deal with these roaches? Looks like the answer is yes. But the SCV losses are still pretty significant. Wow, 16 SCVs going down for Replicator. I didn't even know that it had that many to lose, but I guess it's been producing SCVs non-stop. So that's quite painful for Replicator. It's going to have to just rebuild those SCVs, I guess. Now, it's not the end of the world, as Ender, of course, went for 7 early roaches, which is not cheap. But Replicator I will say isn't in the best spot in the world. It does have all this stimmed bio that it's producing. It is just seemingly a one-base bot here. And so that could lead to it potentially doing some damage to Ender on the other side of the map. Ender is making lots of lings. It's got a couple of those roaches still alive. We'll see if the control for Ender is good enough to clean this up or not. Some of the roaches going around the other side of the map. There's no burrow for them yet, so they can't do their classic Zerg bot HP regeneration. And now Stim is actually done for Replicator, those units moving extra fast. It actually stims against an Overlord there, so that's interesting. It's at least not stimming all the Marines on the field, so it's good to see that. We have those Marines stimming, charging right ahead. The units to defend this for Ender, it really is just those 3 roaches, but they're injured, and they're on the other side of the map. Another Overlord goes down, however, it did sort of do a favor in the sense that it baited out that stim pack, but we see Replicator moving across the map. There's one Queen to defend this. Queen's pretty tanky, kills off one Marine, kills off a second Marine, but then goes down, and Ender's not making really any units at this point. The 3 roaches are coming home. Do they kill off that Marauder? Yes, they do. They kill off another Marine, but there's still a decent number of Terran units in the natural for Ender, and there's some lings popping out, but it's mainly making drones, falling into one of those bot traps in which it goes, oh man, I'm low on drones, I better make more drones, not thinking about why it's low on the drones in the first place. So Replicator getting a lot of damage done here, and hopefully Ender pops out some roaches or something soon, as it is under attack. And this is looking a little painful. Now those Marines and Marauders are very over-stimmed, seeing that stim behavior from Replicator in full effect here, as those units are now incredibly injured. Looks like Replicator may potentially be pulling back or just going to kill that Overlord as it gets another one of those. And Ender has a 3rd base up. It's making 12 lings now, so it lost its natural after building all those drones and says, alright, time to make some lings. It does have ling speed on the way, and lings can potentially deal with these Marauders if it pools them right, as they're incredibly overstimmed. However, if it does just keep running them in one by one, that will not be good for the Zerg bot. Speed is now going to be finishing up soon. We see more Overlords crossing the map for Ender, getting killed by the constant stream of units by Replicator, as Replicator is just doing the one-base Terran ladder build, as it decided to build 2 starports all of a sudden, interestingly enough. It's now moving into the main base. It's still just that one roach for Ender, and I think Ender fell into the classic bot trap this game that we see sometimes, which is a bot, it starts losing workers. It says, oh man, I better replace those workers or hit my worker threshold before doing anything else. Really one of the biggest distinctions when it comes to bots and humans play. A human would almost never say, yeah, this is fine, let's keep building drones. And so I think Ender is actually just going to be toast here. It's got that 3rd base up. It's got 4 drones mining there. It's making 6 lings, but I don't think that's enough at this point. You know, unless those broodlings kill all those injured units, and they may get a decent number of these Marauders here. We shall see. They do fan out, though, with that bot-like micro for Replicator. But yeah, I think Replicator has got this one. It's actually building a command center in its main base, so not expanding on the low ground, but it does have transitional behavior. So it's not just a simple one-base spot. It's then got a Raven on the way as well. Very cool to see. A reactor on that starport. So a bit of a mixed bag, this spot, but seems to have a pretty strong one-base opening. The stim work is interesting, I'll say. Could potentially be improved there, but still it seems to have got the job done so far in this game, unless it just leaves Ender alone to rebuild, which is a possibility with bots. Who knows how long it's going to take for Replicator to potentially scout out this base of Ender, and we do know that Ender is quite a layered bot, so it should get things back on track if given enough time. We'll see if that's going to be the case or not, as Replicator is floating that base over to the natural. It's got a lot of workers. We'll see if it transfers those workers when the time comes. Ender's supply blocked, however, it is pulling a drone, so it looks like it's planned on building a spawning pool. Ender says we will rebuild, and it might, but that is probably one of the first things you program as a bot author, is eventually to make your bot scout out the whole map. Like, because otherwise your opponent will just sit in a corner somewhere, so we'll see if Replicator does do that. It hasn't really started scouting out too many of the bases yet. I mean, it scouted out some of them, at some point in this game, but it has not seen all the bases yet. So we'll see when it's going to do that. For now, it's just moving its Marines and Marauders back and forth in little red dot fashion all over the minimap. We have got still no spawning pool for Ender, still just getting up those drones, up to 17 workers. And then a medivac on the way. That's probably a good thing that there's a medivac out for Replicator, seeing as how we all know how Replicator likes to stim its units, as we've seen in the past few minutes of the game, and these Marauders HP. If it could stim those Marauders again, I'm sure it would. Now, Ender is building another hatchery, which is interesting. It's going to be building on the gold base, so I mean, Replicator's looking at this one Overlord. It's not finding the base of Ender. Ender is going to start mining off a gold base eventually here, and that's going to give it a big economic boost. Probably more resources coming in than the Terran, as Replicator has not transferred its workers yet, which is unfortunate. So it's got the expanding behavior, but not the good SCV management behavior. It's making an orbital. So I wonder if that's a check for it to say, hey, get an orbital at the base before transferring SCVs. Oh, we do have this base being spotted by Replicator, and that's not good for Ender. Oh, dear. Ender's little secret base has been found. So that's really not good, as this base is pretty much toasted. Replicator is streaming all its units towards this point. We saw it chasing that Overlord before. And now it's chasing now it just sent everything to, so basically anything that Replicator sees, it's like kill mode, send everything we got. And oh, I think the drones were traitors and led Replicator to the base of Ender. That's disastrous, as Ender is spending so long rebuilding his base, and this really is its one base. It's got another hatchery building down here. I'm not going to say that it can't rebuild again, but I think this one may be over, although it's building another base up here. So it's going for the AI strategy of expand, expand, expand. Although, oh, Ender does GG. It says resigning anyway. It hasn't GG'd just yet, but there. Okay, so Ender does have GGing behavior. I mean, Replicator did take its time to find that base, so who knows? Maybe Ender could have rebuilt if it stayed in the game. Maybe 1 out of 1,000 or something, but anyway. Well done by Replicator to take down Ender. I did love to see whether Ender was able to rebuild or not. Unfortunately, it was not able to, in time anyway. And yeah, leave a comment down below if you guys want to see more of these bot games, more boats, more bagels, more bananas. You can type absolute gibberish in the comments, but it does help us with getting these bot videos out there. And then join the Discord, which is linked down below. If you're a bot author, submit a replay. Consider becoming a YouTube member. Subscribe. Leave a like. I'll see you guys next time. It's LaughNgamez. Thanks for watching.